So, David, gather you're off to Toaster. You have a runner in the sprint, in the semi-finals of the sprint, and a dog being lined up for the juvenile.
Yeah.
Story.
Well, with the Northampton's Sprint Championship, we've got Shrew Call running in the semi-final. It's not his ideal track. It's a short run to the corner. He prefers a long run to the corner where he can build up his pace. He has got a break in him. He's not really adapted to the track just yet, but I think he's perfectly housed in the semi-final. I think if he does it right, he's got every chance of qualifying.
Yes, of course. I mean, he is still in that elite group of two Ben dogs, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, for me, when he's on his game, for me, he's the best sprinter in the country.
Yes.
There's, but at the moment, I wouldn't. He's definitely not. He's showing glimpses and he's showing signs of coming back, and I fully expect him to run a big race tomorrow night. But when he doesn't trap, there's not enough room for him to run to the corner. So he's always in a bad position where on a long run to the corner, he can get away with a poor break because he's got the pace up.
Yes, of course. And then moving on to Tenpin, obviously with the juvenile coming up. For a start, Toaster and Tenpin, how do they go together?
He runs the track well. We gave him a sprint trial last week. He ran the track well. It's the draw for me is the problem. If he gets his draw, I think he'll. If I could guarantee track one, I think he's got every chance.
Mm-hmm.
My other concern is how people see their dogs.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is going to be a lot of people with middle runners going to see their dogs rails, and I hope this doesn't happen because I think it's just going to be a nightmare at the bend. I think the run to the corner, although it's a good run to the corner, it's not as long as people think. There's a lot right with Toaster.
Yeah.
It's a great venue. The way they do things there is great. I like the parade, the long parades, so the dogs are warmed up. The long walk off, they're warmed down. You're going to need luck anyway. Even if you had the perfect track, you're going to need luck.
Yeah. If I said to you, you could choose the venue, where would you choose? Would it be Central Park?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For me, yeah. I like Central Park. We go there a lot. I like Nottingham.
Yeah.
But I haven't got anything wrong against Toaster at all.
No, no.
I think
his record at Central Park is just incredible.
Yeah, it's got cracking. I think the track itself it sort of reminds me of the old Wembley.
Yeah.
But Toaster is where it is.
Mm.
They've put a good show on before. They'll put a good show on again, and we've just got to deal with it. And just hope the run to the corner does worry me a little bit. But the derby isn't about Tenpin, is it? There's going to be a number of dogs in there. We'll take our chance. They'll take their chances and see what happens.
I've never yet come across a derby venue that people couldn't find fault in, and that goes all the way back to White City, which I don't know. People get rosy-coloured glasses about White City. That they forget that for probably 6 months of the year it was hock deep in mud. They forget the fact that it was totally flat, being a grass track, and the amount of dogs that got put out virtually over the fence at the first bend, and the amount of broken hocks. Again, they tend to forget all of that. Wimbledon had its issues. They improved it, but for a long time, Wimbledon was bad. And there's Nottingham. Wherever it is you go, that there will always be something that doesn't suit a particular sort of dog or a number of dogs.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it wouldn't matter where you put it. People are going to moan about something.
Yeah.
The only people that won't moan will be the winners. I can remember some big trainers. They used to moan about Wimbledon, and then all of a sudden they won the Derby there, and it was the greatest place in the world.
You're not going to tell me who now?
You can work that one out for yourself.
Yeah, I think so. I think I can work that one out.
Yeah, I mean, there's more. The thing that I used to find amazing was they'd moan about the first bend at Wimbledon during the Derby, and then they'd come back for the Laurels,
Yeah.
which was the same traps, the same first bend, same dogs, nothing problem.
Yeah, absolutely so. Absolutely so. Yeah.
I mean, it'll be what it'll be.
Very much. Now, of course, the other thing, if I get a chance to overlay some statistics for this, we talked about this previously. The record for dogs in the juvenile, not only not winning it, isn't very good. In fact, the story is that the juvenile winner has never won the Derby. I think Dolores Rock actually did, but I think it was the other way around. I think she possibly won the Derby first and the juvenile, or something of that sort.
Yeah. I had this conversation with John, we do talk, and he, I'll listen to what he says. I respect his views, same as he respects ours. And during the conversation, he asked me what we were doing with Tenpin, and I said to him, "Well, we're going to go for the juvenile." He said, "Well, we can go for the juvenile." And I thought, "Well, why not?" He said, "Well, no dog's ever won the Derby. Won the juvenile, won the Derby." And I thought, and that threw a right spanner in the works. And I thought, oh. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute. There's nothing to say that we're going to win the Derby anyway.
No.
And there's nothing to say we're going to win the juvenile. But if he won the juvenile and never won the Derby, it's still a good, it's a big prestigious race to have in your CV.
Yeah.
So I thought, and then I said to him, well, I can remember when Tico won the Pall Mall Derby, it'd never been done before.
Yeah.
So things are there to be done for the first time.
Yeah.
We've never won the Derby anyway, so winning the Derby is one thing. Getting there, my main concern at the moment is getting the dog to the Derby.
Yeah.
Fully fit.
Just to even take your chance. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think although we've never won the Derby yet, I think it's going to be as hard to get them there unscathed.
Yeah.
As it is to go through and win it anyway.
Yeah.
But getting back to the conversation with John, he said he can remember like when he had Swift Keith, there's no way that dog was going to go in the juvenile. He didn't put him in the juvenile, and I said to him, yeah, and he didn't win the Derby either.
No.
So my view is you set your stall out. We've got a plan. I don't normally plan things out. I like the races to roll over together.
Yeah.
Normally we take the race, we'll look forward for the next one, and there's usually something there that you're going to go for. In this instance, because he picked up an injury, I didn't really want to over race him anyway.
Yes.
But I didn't want to wrap him up in cotton wool either.
Yeah.
So he's continuously been worked. The dog's fit. The dog's, he's not going to be race fit. And when he trials tomorrow over the 500, I do expect him to blow up coming home.
Yes.
I'm not concerned about it.
Yeah.
It's what I expect. And then we can go forward. And as long as he's okay, we'll give him another trial. And I've picked the route I want to take him to. And as long as he comes out of this, everything unscathed, that's the route we're going to take. We're preparing him for the spring, for the juvenile. He'll have 3 looks around there before the race. And whilst we're doing that, we're also preparing him for the Derby.
Yeah.
Getting used to the track. So I don't want to give him too many looks around there, so he gets bored with the place.
No.
So as long as we get to the juvenile and running it and come out of it unscathed, he will be going elsewhere.
How many do you think you have in the Derby?
I think I'll have a possibility of 3.
Yeah.
There's a dog who's an oldish dog we've got. He won a Group 1 who we had problems with him all of last year. But we brought him back this year and he's come back to how he was the year before.
Hmm.
So
Which who are we talking about?
Troy Zuko,
Of course, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he won the Midland
And
Puppy Derby,
yeah, Monmore, yeah.
and we just had all sorts of problems with him after
Mhm.
that. And funny enough, I schooled him over hurdles, and he looked like he was, taking it to duck to water.
Mm.
Um, and when I hand slipped him at Romford, he jumped, went about 10 strides, and he ruptured his stomach muscles.
Oh, that's
I mean, if
not
he was seriously in a bad way, and
yeah.
um, at one point we thought we were going to lose him,
Oh, really?
but we took our time. The vet thought we wouldn't get him back till August, and we nurtured him, and gradually we started working him. And I've given him a trials. He had a race. He had his first race back today. He finished second, but he's absolutely flying.
Yeah.
He's not near what we want him to be, but he's not far away, to be honest with you. But he is.
What was it?
He's,
What were his original injuries?
he had. He kept drifting off wide, and he had a testicle stuck up in his groin,
Groin, yeah.
which we ended up having that removed. That was giving him everything seemed to work out. That was what the problem was, and
Yeah.
it just took a long time to find. I'm
Mm.
not so sure that that was the problem,
Yeah.
but I think with him damaging his abdominal muscles, and the amount of time he's been off has certainly helped bring him back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So whatever was there might have been cured at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it might have been a case that he had a strain in his abdominal muscles anyway.
Yeah.
Um, so, but anyway, he's coming back. He's got an outside chance of going in the derby.
Yeah.
Troy Firebird needs. I would imagine he'll start coming back to life. Um, he's run well round Toaster before, so I expect him to go in the derby.
Yeah.
And Tenpin, and I've got another one who, should he jump forward, he looks like a good dog. He thinks he's a good dog, but he's yet to prove he's a good dog.
Yeah.
Um, and I think there's every chance that he might end up making it there.
Are we doing that Mullins thing again? That you're not even telling me who he is.
Yeah, I am, aren't I?